Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-514-1026. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-514-1026 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security checks. Call 800-514-1026 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-514-1026.
Coming up on KCBS, artificial intelligence is taking the world by storm. We'll talk with an expert on the impacts AI has made in the past year. Speaking of impacts, the 49ers got some yesterday. They were impacted by the Ravens. Stephen Lightfoot from the Bay Area Chevy Dealer Sports Desk.
We talked about it all week in the build-up to it, right, Eric? The Ravens, the most complete team the 49ers had faced this season. The most complete, meaning on offense and on defense. That audio courtesy of ABC. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy with a career-high 4 interceptions, 3 of which thrown in the first half, 1 more in the second. But that highlight is just an example. The first interception was due to poor decision-making by Purdy in the end zone, but the second and third interceptions both tipped by 49ers wide receivers. So the message from tight end George Kittle during the game.
I just kept telling Brock to keep singing, man. We're a 1 seed in the NFC for a reason because you swing the ball and get our playmakers in space. And they had a great game plan against us tonight. They had a lot of great, those turnovers are huge. And I don't know what else to say besides the last turnover is what it is at the end of the game. But 3 turnovers in the first half is just tough. And they're not all on Brock, but it's just hard to win.
33-19, the final. Ravens over the 49ers, and it's almost been like something out of a movie. Brock Purdy going from the last overall pick to an MVP frontrunner in the second half, in his second year. But defensive end Nick Bosa thinks this serves as a reminder no one is invincible in the NFL.
I think it's unbelievable how he's played for the past 2 years, just being a young guy, rookie last year, and it seems like he's immortal out there, and nobody's immortal, but he's responded from not his best performances before, and I think he'll do that again.
And he'll look to do that against the Commanders next week as the 49ers now 11-4 on the season. At the Sports Desk, Stephen Langford, KCBS.
Timing is everything, and now is the time to buy, California. During the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealer, it's time for our biggest offer of the year on the entire Ford lineup of trucks and SUVs, like the Built Ford Tough F-150, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years and counting, or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with ghost modes to help you conquer the great outdoors, and the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. Now's the time to buy during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers with exclusive offers on your favorite Ford vehicles. And now is your time to get behind the wheel of the Ford truck or SUV you've always wanted. But time is running out. These offers absolutely end on January 2nd. Visit your California Ford dealer today. Based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
Since 1967, Barron's has made bridal dreams come true for thousands of couples throughout Northern California. We have designer lines, Barron's own custom collection, the largest selection of natural diamonds, and now even lab-grown diamonds. And Barron's is the East Bay's largest Decory dealer. Stop by, call for a VIP appointment, or shop online at barronsjewelers.com and make your bridal dreams come true. Barron's, a legacy of elegance.
Still quiet out there on this day after Christmas. I hope I didn't jinx Kim one. He's over there in the local Hot News traffic thing.
Not at all. Just a couple little odds and ends that you should know about. So that road work we've been talking about, it's Vallejo, it's Vacaville, westbound 80 down toward Fairfield. So they do have the second lane in. One lane out of the four is closed in any case. It's some storm damage repairs that is going on probably till about 3 this afternoon. So I am starting to see just a little bit of sluggish traffic again on the westbound side of 80 as you leave Vacaville for Fairfield, but not much to write home about. Also, it looks like they're going to be doing some pothole repair now. The traffic's so light anyway in Oakland that this is going to be going on in various lanes, CHP is telling us, westbound on 580, right around Park. So there will be traffic breaks here and there, so look out for those. Bay Bridge, though, still looks great. If you are expecting folks back from the Tahoe area, no problems on 80 or 50. Or if you know folks that are staying in Tahoe, wow, the Palisades now has 14 open lifts. That sounds okay, right? We're looking fine through the Silicon Valley and no issues up or down the peninsula. That includes getting to SFO. There is some delay around that domestic terminal, I see, but as far as the freeway goes, you are good to go. Get traffic when you need it 24/7 on X at KCBS AM/FM traffic from the traffic
Not
leader,
supposed to drive like
KCBS.
that.
Mancini Sleep World 6-day weather forecast. Visit Mancini Sleep World during their year-end appearance event or visit sleepworld.com. Mostly cloudy across the Bay Area today with highs in the 50s to low 60s.
Speed limit is 55, not 90.
Rain is likely as well, and that's going to be the pattern for the rest of the week with some rain and cloudy conditions, patchy fog as well, highs in the mid-60s, lows in the mid-50s. A coastal flood advisory is now in effect until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. It's time now for Ask an Expert. Every weekday at 9:20 on KCBS or thereabouts, we give you direct access to top experts in various fields. Today it's a conversation we've been having all year long, the rise of AI in our lives, from medical advances and self-driving cars to ChatGPT and artificial intelligence creating songs. So what can we take away from AI in 2023? Where has it done the most good? Where does it fall short? And what are the concerns? Taking a closer look at all of this, we're joined live on the KCBS Ring Central Newsline by CBS Tech contributor Ian Scher. Morning, Ian.
Good morning.
So, just because we like to tackle small, simple subjects, we're going to talk about AI. What were the milestones this year as far as you're concerned?
You know, I think this is probably the year that, when we look back on it, it's going to be the year where we all became very aware of how much AI is in our lives. And part of that is stuff like ChatGPT, which was released a little more than a year ago and really started to gain momentum, in part because it was able to do some pretty nifty stuff, right? I love using it at parties when I can show people it can write a limerick, about pretty much anything. But also, I think what's really fascinating is people have seen that they can use AI for stuff like being able to chew through data, right? Being able to give it a PDF and ask it to summarize, or even being able to do stuff like plan a vacation, right? And ask it kind of, okay, well, I've got 5 days in this city, what should I do? And what the end result has been is that people have been flocking to this technology. It's changed already the way a lot of businesses do their work, and it is promising to upend a lot of how life is done, just like the internet did 20, 30 years ago.
Is it 100% reliable or 80% reliable, or where do you stand on that?
Well, it depends on what you define reliable as. When it comes to facts, right, the thing that, us journalists enjoy, AI is not the best at that. And part of it is because it is going through, it's going through an interesting process when it's creating text for you and it answers a question. And part of that is that it's guessing the right answer. And that doesn't always come up right in the world of facts. So when you need it to do something like help you write a book report, it's going to be really bad. But when you need something like coming up with a new logo for your website, or, you know, even just kind of blue sky ideas like, you know, I wanna write a really nice letter to someone who's been helping me out, and here's what they've done. Can you recommend kind of a way to start? That is where AI really seems to shine.
Okay, these are examples of where AI is out there overtly. We see it work, we ask it to do certain things. Where is AI in our lives that we don't recognize right away?
Well, I mean, the easiest answer is when you're driving around. Almost all of our cars now have some form of artificial intelligence in them that is telling us, for example, whether or not there is a car that's dangerously close to us, right, and applying a brake and stuff like that. What's interesting, I think, is that in all sorts of ways we've seen AI interacting with our world. When you go to a website and you don't have to log in, sometimes that's because the computers have actually identified what your computer is, they know who you are, and they say, okay, it's probably them, and there is a form of artificial intelligence making that decision. So it's in a lot of places in our lives, and I think what's been interesting is that ChatGPT and all these other kind of technologies that have really grown up in the last year have brought it all to the forefront, to the point where even the White House is talking about it now as a regular tech issue, whereas, you know, 2 years ago, no one was talking about AI practically.
So, are we going to see some sort of regulation regarding AI?
That is a great question. So, you know, the data so far we've seen, if you look at how the Congress has acted, right, we had one of the least productive years in the history of the U.S. Congress in 2023. And so the hope of any sort of regulation is probably not on the table if they can barely even get together it's a national security issue. And they're saying, look,
I don't know what the heck that was about. Car all of a sudden not working. What the fuck? Yeah, right where I fucking work too. With the stupid, mentally ill people I'm forced to work with. You know, because my boss is a fucking asshole. He doesn't fucking, you know, give me people that are easy to work with. No, it has to be mentally ill people. People that fucking discriminate based on age or race. So I always end up working with. Oh, ridiculous.